you. When it comes to the UN involvement, give us a few more details about why they're getting involved. What's this all about? Why the United Nations now?
Well, the United Nations got involved in this ongoing debate over Arizona's controversial immigration law because 6 UN rights experts released basically a statement or several statements saying that a disturbing pattern of legislative activity hostile to ethnic minorities has been established. Ethnic minorities and immigrants has been established with the adoption of Arizona's immigration law. Now, these UN experts say that they believe that police could be targeting and may eventually target immigrants such as Mexicans and indigenous people because now they are given the power and the authority to pull over and detain anybody who they believe may be an illegal immigrant. Now, according to these UN experts that have come out with these statements, they say that states are required to respect and ensure the human rights of all persons subject to their jurisdiction. And the U.S., of course, is a party of the International Human Rights Treaty. And what these statements being made by the UN experts is indicating is that Arizona's immigration law may be, in essence, in violation, Cedric, of this International Human Rights Treaty. And they also say that the law in Arizona could result in potentially discriminating against people of particular origins, of foreign origins, and set a precedent, allowing that to continue for some time to come. And finally, they also noted that international standards require detention to be used in an exceptional measure, not to be used as the norm. And these are statements coming at an international level. You know, we've been hearing this debate domestically carrying on for weeks and weeks, but now, you know, we have the experts at the international level weighing in on Arizona's controversial new law.
Now, Marina, you know the ins and outs of the UN. Do you feel as if this really does turn up that much more heat on the state of Arizona? We're talking about just a state out of an entire country, and then we're also talking about a big fish like the United Nations. So does this really crank up that heat, going from maybe a simmer to a full-on, I don't know, barbecue here?
Well, you know, I have to be quite honest with you, Cedric. I was surprised to read about it myself because normally when you think about the United Nations will make comments or produce reports on certain countries, but then to focus in on the state of a country, it obviously has to be a pressing issue that these experts are calling disturbing. But will it turn up the heat? I think that is completely up to Arizona and the way that Arizona views the United Nations. If they respect the opinions of the opinion of the United Nations and the experts that have been appointed to the UN Human Rights Council, then maybe they will feel significant pressure. But as we've seen over the past, weeks, there's been a lot of blowback towards Arizona's new immigration law, and yet, those in charge of that state still stand by it and continue to stand by it. Even U.S. President Barack Obama has spoken out against it, and Arizona's leaders still maintain that it's something that the state needs to deter illegal immigrants from the state and to make sure that illegal immigrants don't come into the state, because it's a problem that Arizona is dealing with. Not to mention, possibly drug gangs and drug trafficking coming in, that they say, from Mexico. So this is the way the state wants to deal with the issue, but maybe they'll cave to some of this pressure that's coming at the international level.
Maybe Arizona, the state of Arizona, will cave, but does this at least turn up the heat on the United States, especially when you have the international pressure from other countries? Does this turn the heat up on the United States as a country and put that much more pressure to maybe do something about this finally?
You know what? I think it does. I don't think that legally the United States has to do something based on independent opinions that are coming from these experts, because these experts are appointed, okay? And they are not financially reimbursed. They do not receive any salaries. They are just experts that are appointed to the Human Rights Council. But the United States doesn't look good if these experts working for the Human Rights Council saying that the U.S. as a country could be violating the international international human rights treaty. So it may actually cause those in Washington, the U.S. leaders, to act and put pressure on Arizona and change at least the appearance. But you know, at the very least, Cedric, this does indicate a shame factor for Arizona when reports like this is coming from these are coming from the United Nations.
Fine work as always, Marina Portnoy. Thank you for joining us.
Millions of illegal aliens in the U.S. Barack Obama's plan gives a driver's license to any illegal who wants one. But that's not all. Obama's plan gives illegals Social Security benefits and raises taxes for his health care plan to cover them. Who pays? You do. Driver's licenses and government benefits for illegals. Higher taxes for us. That's Obama's plan. Obama. Too radical. Too risky. The National Republican Trust PAC is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
Wow. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
That was gnarly.
Oh, that was really scary.
We should call your dad. I wonder if the house is okay.
Oh my. Yeah, I couldn't figure out if the road was messed up, and then I realized other cars were doing it too. Yeah. And then I'm looking over there, and it's
that was really
that
weird.
was intense. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Maybe we aren't going home. Well, you know what? Let's get away from these power lines.
We're still shaking. It's like a minute and a half. Holy shit.
Wow.
Look at that, all that dust.